What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is iRate Reviews, the weekly review show where I go over a comic book, its art, its story, give you my impressions, and whether it's something you should go back to the comic book shop for or not. What I'm going to be doing is talking about Mother Panic #1. So this is the latest release from Young Animal, which is a DC imprint, and it's helmed by Gerard Way, but he's not doing the writing. That's being done by Jody Houser, and Jody Houser's got really good books out there like Faith and a lot of other titles. So what she's doing is she's putting a little bit more of a, dislikable character spin on Mother Panic. And that's really cool, because essentially what you've got is you've got somebody that is a protagonist. They're a vigilante that's out there for justice. However, they are a very unlikable character. As far as the character is concerned, she has some very severe issues. The way that we open up the story is we see a little bit of backstory. You know, she was a young girl taken care of by her father. Her mother is a bit off her rocker. You know, she's dealing with either dementia or some other form of delusions. She's just not all there, so that way she's just primarily got to be taken care of by her dad. She gets taken out onto a hunting expedition where essentially she's, a little hesitant to pull the trigger on things. And immediately we flash forward to the current day where she's a celebutante. She's upper crust echelon of Gotham City. She's got celebrity status. People are fans of hers. They follow her on Instagram. She's like a Kardashian, except she really hates it. And because she hates it, she's a very unlikable personality when it comes to these things. She hates going to galas. She doesn't like talking to people like that. She's just a very off-putting character. She just feels like she exudes bad energy towards everybody else. But what we find is that she's got some sort of ulterior motive, because on her plane there are some various other implementations or markings that are on her body that indicate that she may not have necessarily been at rehab as they're telling the media. Because clearly at this gala that she doesn't want to be at, she's after a specific target. She's after another person that fits into her social circles of that upper echelon who just happens to be, somebody on her watch list, hit list. We're not necessarily sure yet, but the person that she really needs to talk to is his bodyguard. So she tracks him down, knocks him out, hops on her glider. So she's got badass tech. She takes out a bunch of guys. She's got some limited combat abilities and super strength, and nobody knows where the hell that came from. And it's one of these things where Batman makes a cameo and finds all these people brutalized in the alleyway as Mother Panic goes out to take care of this individual. And we get this sense that there's a little bit more dark and sinister aspects to this overall story by the time that we get to the end. And we find out that art might not necessarily mean art in this sense. And it might be a little bit deeper, darker, and a little bit more sick in those respects. But as far as the story, I really like the way things are going. I don't necessarily need to like Mother Panic in order to be an appreciator of what she's doing. I think that it's going to be very interesting to explore that darkness versus darkness aspect, because her personality and the way that she conducts herself is probably not too different from the people that she's taking down, but the fact that she does it for a different reason is a very interesting parallel to explore. As far as the art's concerned, the art is a little bit grungier, it's a little bit dirtier. It reminds me a little bit of, like the Alias style of storytelling, but it's just not quite there. It just feels a little bit less controlled in that aspect, which probably plays off the characters pretty well. I'd say that Mother Panic has got a great opportunity to become one of the stronger books out of Young Animal, and I really like the way that the character has potential. And the interaction, the ability to cameo pretty much anybody in Gotham, whether it's a villain or a superhero, is a super strong point for this book, because it creates kind of like accessory excitement. It's just like, Batman makes his appearance and Batwoman makes her appearance, and they can pop in and out, and they can be, their individual characters. They can be their street personas, or they can be their vigilante personas, and that's a really cool aspect of the book. Overall, it's not necessarily as strong as I was expecting, but it's definitely a very solid issue, and it seems to set up the entire series really well, so I can't wait to see where they're going with this next. If it's something that you're into, that you're open to a little bit more dark and dirty, grim and gritty kind of storytelling, and you really like the aspect of Gotham and Batman and, somebody operating in that environment, this is definitely the book for you. So go grab it if you haven't already. So that's my review of Mother Panic #1, but I want to know what you guys thought about it too, so hit me up in the comments down below so we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything having to do with the world of comics.